Welcome to another video from Gweilo 60. We're at a wet market in Chongqing, China. Yes, and you're probably wondering, do they have wet markets here? Well, yeah, they do. Are they the same as they are in places like Nanning, Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, Penang, Indonesia, all over Southeast Asia and China? And the answer to that question is, yes, it is exactly the same. Look at the size of that potato for all my Ukrainian viewers out there. Here's one of the wet markets, and you see you're in the middle, the center of the old section of Chongqing. So you wouldn't think that you would have a wet market here, but you do. You'd think supermarkets like Walmart and stuff like that. Well, no, they've got fatty pork hanging. They've got vegetables. They've got fruits and mushrooms and garlics and you name it. Pig's feet. And all other parts of the pigs too, guys. They've got spices. They've got lots of people here also. One of the things that I noticed that's different than Nanning is I could come into the wet market without a mask on. I didn't have to show a QR code. They didn't take my temperature. So they're really not that interested or worried about COVID here in Chongqing, just for the fact that they just have none here, which is nice. This bitter melon, I don't eat them. As you walk through here, you can see that still to this day, people in China would rather buy their food in a wet market than go to a superstore, a Walmart, because they know that the stuff here is fresh. They know that the food here is just came out of the fields. The meat has been just slaughtered today. You know, things like that. And that makes a big difference because Chinese people like their food fresh. And I do too. We don't go anywhere but wet markets to buy our food when we're buying groceries for our house in Nanning. And I would think that people in Chongqing would be no different than people in Nanning when it comes to their food. Chinese people are Chinese people all over China, and they'll buy their food, their produce, their vegetables, their eggs, their meat, you know, their fruits, whatever, at wet markets just like this, and it won't stop. I would say ever. This is the way it's going to be forever. Man, this is a big one too. Look at over here, guys. I gotta go into the middle of this. It's what I do. And when you look at a place like this, and you see, I'm used to it. A lot of people will say, well, there's no refrigeration. Well, because it's fresh. It doesn't last long enough to have to be refrigerated. They say, well, it's dirty here. Well, you know, after you see these places, after they clean up, they're spick and span. They're just as clean as anything else. Can you buy anything here? Any body part of any pig, chicken, cow, you name it, it's here. Wild animals? Absolutely not. They made laws against that. There's pork, there's beef, there's chickens, there's ducks, you know, there's sheep, goats, whatever, lamb. All of these farm animals are here, but no wild animals anymore. That's a thing of the past here in China. Man, I gotta go down the vegetable lines. What the hell are those? Red carrots. Yes. This video, although it's made in Chongqing, China, it could be in any city or rural area in all of China. It could be in any city or rural area in Malaysia, Indonesia. It could be Thailand. It could be Laos or Vietnam. It's all the same. All through the Asian communities of Southeast Asia and China, this is exactly how people buy their stuff. And you can see why, because everything's so fresh. The smell in here is, you'd say, oh, it must stink there. Yeah, it smells like fresh vegetables, fresh peppers. You know, it smells like fresh red peppers. It's one of those things that when you get into the fruit aisles, oh, the smell of the peaches and the nectarines and, you know, stuff like that. It makes a big difference whether the food is fresh. And in a place like this, the food is always fresh. If it wasn't, people wouldn't come here and buy this stuff. Plus, another bonus of having wet markets like this is that it employs a lot of people. All of these people that are employed in these little booths make money, and they turn it around and stick it into back into their communities. If you've got a big superstore, you have one boss, a bunch of employees, and nobody in the community really benefits from that, because that money goes into the corporate hands of the big boys. And about community, everybody in this community around here comes here to buy their groceries, buy their meat, buy their veggies and their fruits and stuff, and they probably go to the same booths over and over again because they trust the people, and they trust that the stuff that they're selling is not only fresh but of good quality. Go figure, eh? A wet market being part of a community. And yes, you can see there's aisle after aisle after aisle. And another good thing about coming to a wet market is you can buy anything you want. If you need pickled cabbage, if you need anything, like the hot peppers to the soup to nuts to you name it, it's here. When you go to a supermarket, they will only carry the stuff that they want to carry, and it's not always what the people want. So when you come to a market like this, you have to understand that about 90% or higher of the population of this area, of this city, comes to this wet market to buy their groceries for cooking at home. And it's always going to be like that. It's one of those things that they're not going to change. They know that this is the best place to buy their produce. They know that this is fresh. They know that this employs people in their community. They know the people that they're buying their meat off of, their vegetables off of, and they trust them. There's so many different reasons why they come to a place like this to buy their groceries, because it's part of their community and they want it to stay that way. And that's another video from Gweilo 60. If you like this video, as always, like, comment, subscribe. Push that share button, hit the bell. Don't forget to resubscribe, and never forget to put a couple bucks in the children's Patreon account. It's for a good cause. It's for poor rural Chinese children. They just need a helping hand, and we can give them that helping hand. Help me help them. From Chongqing, China, bye now. And you can see the Western influence in a place like Chongqing or anywhere in China. You know, with the Coca-Cola signs and whatever. You get that everywhere in China, just for the fact that China is a really commercialized sort of place. And there's big bucks here. There's lots of people with lots of coin in their jeans. And the big Western companies like Coca-Cola know that. So yeah, the Pizza Huts, the Coca-Colas, the Pepsis, the McDonald's, the KFCs, all of these places are here in mainland China and will be forever, unless somebody boots them out.
It's still going?
But you get, like, I still, this scene still hasn't settled into my mind yet. Like, just the population density of a place like across the river there is freaking awesome, guys, I'm telling you.